Coatbridge Central Railway Station is a station in Coatbridge, North Lanarkshire, Scotland. It is on the Argyle Line. Train services are provided by Abellio ScotRail. The station was originally named Coatbridge and opened in 1842. It was renamed Coatbridge Central in 1953 after the 1826 Monkland and Kirkintilloch Railway Station named Coatbridge Central closed in 1951. It is on what was originally the Garncock and Glasgow Railway, which later became the Glasgow, Garncock, and Coatbridge Railway. The connections southwards came courtesy of the Wishaw and Coldness Railway, with their first passenger train arriving from Morningside in May 1845. Both companies were taken over by the Caledonian Railway in 1849. A further route to the station, the Rutherglen and Coatbridge Railway from Glasgow via Rutherglen and Carlisle, was opened in August 1866. The existing station layout is the result of a rebuild by the Caledonian Railway in 1900, but the platform-level buildings were demolished in the 1970s when the station was a likely candidate for closure due to dwindling patronage and services. Trains from Glasgow Buchanan Street over the original GG&CR route had ceased in November 1962, whilst those over the R&CR were withdrawn 4 years later due to the Beeching Acts, leaving only a skeleton service between Motherwell and Stirling/Perth to Colhere. However, for much of the 1970s and early to mid-1980s this consisted of a pair of through long-distance expresses between London Euston and Inverness, the Daytime Clansman, via Birmingham New Street, and overnight Royal Highlander sleeper, along with a mid-morning Perth to Motherwell passenger and parcels train and evening northbound return working that started back at Carlisle. All of these workings had been either withdrawn or diverted by 1987, but by then Strathclyde PTE had introduced a regular local service from Motherwell as an extension of the Argyle Line's Hamilton Circle route. The line through here had been electrified by British Rail in 1981 to allow electrically hauled freight trains to access the nearby Gartshire container terminal. The link northwards to Cumbernauld was re-established in 1996 when the Motherwell to Cumbernauld DMU service was inaugurated. That provided the main service from the station up until the May 2014 timetable change, as Argyle Line trains only called here at peak periods. Electrification was extended north to Cumbernauld in 2014 as part of the Edinburgh to Glasgow Improvement Programme upgrade scheme, and thereafter all passenger trains began to be worked by EMUs. Following a timetable recast in December 2014, Motherwell services once again run on through via the Hamilton Circle to the city's northwest suburbs throughout the day. Access to the station is now by a ramp from West Canal Street leading to the Down, Cumbernauld-bound platform with access to the Motherwell-bound Island platform via the original underpass. Original access to both platforms of the station was via this underpass from the Category CS listed two-floor structure at the end of the station. The main building was disused for many years after the removal of staffing in the 1970s, but was renovated in the early 2000s and used initially as a public house and more recently as commercial premises for an office supplies company. With a container terminal just north of the station, and the location on link between the West Coast Main Line and the lines to Grangemouth, Stirling, and Points North, there are also freight trains passing through the station. Amenities here are somewhat basic. The station is unmanned, and no permanent buildings remain on the platforms apart from standard waiting shelters. There are timetable poster boards and customer help points on each platform. CCTV cameras and an automatic announcement system are also installed here. Step-free access is only possible on Platform 2, as the underpass to the opposite side has steps. An hourly train operates to Motherwell and Cumbernauld Mondays to Saturdays. This is operated as a Class 156 diagram. There are a few peak time services on the Argyle Line which terminate at the station, operated by a mixture of Class 318, Class 334, and Class 320 trains. These services call at Withlat before joining the main Argyle Line at Motherwell, operating to Milngavie and Dalmuir. With the electrification of the Cumbernauld Line, services now operate with electric traction. The hourly Motherwell-Cumbernauld service, since December 14, 2014, interworks with Argyle Line services all day, originating at Dalmuir and running via Clydebank and the Hamilton Circle. Some additional services run at peak times. There is no Sunday service.